Will Final Fantasy 15 still get a day one patch after the delay that was supposed to remove that possibility? There might be a small chance. Let's give it some thought. What is going on, you beautiful thought-having people, you? Give it thought back here today for another Final Fantasy 15 news update. And I wanted to make this video because this story has been making the rounds lately and the headline has the possibility to influence some rage in some fans, which is understandable. Hajime Tabata, the director of the game, claimed that this last delay was so that a day one patch would not happen. But in a recent interview, he said a few things that would have readers assume that the option is still open for discussion. So without further ado, let's dive right into this information. A couple weeks back, Tabata sat down for an interview with Hardcore Gamer where he was asked the question of, will there still be a day one patch? The interviewer asked this because, as I mentioned just a second ago, the assertion was that the delay would remove the need for a patch. Tabata began his answer with this. You know, whatever we can implement in the disc, we will implement in order to provide a full experience to those who purchase the game. That's great, right? No mention of patches or day one fixes to be seen. But he goes on to say, that said, for people who do have that network connectivity or an online environment, we will continue to deliver what is necessary through those means to people who have that accessibility, whether that be any necessary patches or DLCs. So that's fine. If we have bugs that need stomping, Tabata said he will do that. Although DLCs aren't really on topic here, I can't wait for that Prompto DLC. Anyway, where the story comes from is this right here. Quote, so we're not dismissing the patches or DLCs whatsoever. But when looking at what is provided through the disc, we wanted to ensure that the level of quality is met in terms of what we'd like to deliver on a standard Final Fantasy release, as well as something that surpasses that quality. Right there, Tabata said that they haven't dismissed the possibility of patches. That's it. He never brings up day one patches at all. Tabata finishes his response with, so especially when thinking about ensuring that a broader consumer base will be able to enjoy the game, we wanted to ensure that that was met with the disc version. Even here, he downplays it to a higher degree. So does this point in the direction of a day one patch? I don't think so. This is just another one of those headlineable stories that so many gaming news outlets tend to run with. I guess I'm guilty of it too, but this video was made to debunk the other misleading information. That said, I could be completely wrong here. Personally, I don't really see a problem with day one patches, not really. But I do understand why people would. Companies are selling incomplete games and that's a bad thing, plain and simple. But if they fix it on day one, then I guess that's better than nothing? The unfinished game thing though is a horrible trend that I hope at the least slows down in the coming years. We all see what's happening with No Man's Sky right now, and that's a prime example of an unfinished game. So I just wanted to catch everyone up on Final Fantasy 15 and the possibility of a day one patch after the recent delay. I'll leave a link to the full article I mentioned, and I urge everyone to go read it. Tabata talks about the season pass and a few other things if you're interested. And as always, I want to know what everyone else thinks about this. Are day one patches a bad thing? Or do they not really impact your impression of a game? And regarding Final Fantasy 15, what will you think if there is a patch after the delay? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And I think that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, you know what you have to do. Hit that like button for me, and subscribe if you're new here. I talk about No Man's Sky and Final Fantasy 15 a lot, so if you really like those games, it will put you first in line for all the news and discussion videos for those games. And really quick before I go, I just wanted to thank everyone for helping me get past that 1,000 subscriber mark. It is really humbling to see everyone who has joined this channel, and it really encourages me to go above and beyond for you guys, so stay tuned for many more videos in the future. And I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, give thought to everything.